What's up, guys? DevildogGamer here. Today we're going to be talking about YouTube's new policy on guns and how it's effectively pretty much going to kill gun content on the platform. Now we have Hell Let Loose playing in the background because I didn't feel like heavily editing any footage I have from me at the range because this shit is absolutely crazy. If you've been looking on social media lately, you've been seeing a lot of the gun tubers talking about YouTube's new policy towards guns and firearm content. I'm going to tell you where that comes from and how crazy their new policy actually is. So a lot of us gun tubers are connected through either management or connections and things like that. And recently a lot of us were afforded the opportunity to ask questions to one of the head honchos at YouTube about gun content and things like that. Now, I wasn't able to attend the live stream because my kids suck sometimes, but I was able to get the transcript of the actual meeting, and they did answer a few of my questions too, along with everyone else's. And I gotta say, this whole new policy is pretty freaking crazy. Now, first off, I'm going to read the current firearms policy. This is the one that is actually listed on YouTube. This is their firearms content policy. Sellings of firearms and firearms accessories through direct sales, i.e. you're trying to sell guns or gun parts, you can't put the link to it directly in your on the video or in the description. This has been known for a while. I've been hit with this one pretty hard, and the strike that they gave me was a bomb-making strike of all things, so I don't understand that. Accessories that enable a firearm to simulate automatic fire, that's kind of a no-brainer. Accessories that convert a firearm to automatic fire, such as butt stocks, Gatling triggers, drop-in auto sears, which are legal, auto sears are, especially if they're, transfers. And conversion kits, high capacity magazines or belts carrying more than 30 rounds. Like we're talking like drum mags, 60 round drum mags, things like that. Providing instructions how to manufacture any of the following: firearms, ammunition, high capacity mags, homemade silencers, suppressors, accessories that enable a firearm to simulate automatic fire, accessories that convert a firearm to automatic fire, and provides instructions on how to convert a firearm to automatic or simulated automatic fire, and pretty much provides instructions on how to install all the aforementioned stuff. Pretty much no-brainer things. Now, during the meeting with YouTube, they discussed kind of the new policies on what YouTube doesn't want in terms of firearm stuff. They didn't directly say this, but this is what everyone pretty much got are the rules, and I have evidence that these are the rules now for YouTube. Attaching or removing a suppressor on screen. I have already had a demonetization on one of those videos. That video has been up for years, and pretty much 2 days after this meeting, it got demonetized, and I'm pretty sure a strike's coming on that. 30-round magazines or above being inserted into the magwell. This is current videos and historical. If you refer to a 29 or 25 round magazine, make sure it can only load and fire the same number of rounds. Now, you can say it's a 20 round magazine or a 29 round magazine, but it needs to fire that many rounds, which shows that they are actually counting rounds during the review of these videos. Attaching or removing any accessories on screen, which means taking a scope off and putting it back on, or a flashlight on or off. It doesn't matter, as if it's attached to a firearm, they don't want you removing it or putting it back onto the weapon at all, which just absolutely blows my mind. They also did mention and reinforce what we kind of already knew about profanity in videos. People were saying it was the first 3 minutes with the new rules, first 30 seconds. This was reiterated by YouTube themselves that profanity in the first 15 seconds of a video will lead to instant demonetization of a video. So those are the current profanity rules from a higher up at YouTube. I know a lot of people were saying that, it's 3 minutes, 30 seconds. No, it is 100% 15 seconds, and that's what YouTube is saying to everybody. I know a lot of people got hit with that. Gaming, guns, everybody got hit with the profanity stuff, but now it is being enforced at 15 seconds. For older videos where you're shown loading, inserting, or firing a 30-round mag, you can use the creator dashboard to blur this out to keep older videos from getting flagged. Now, funny story about this. I actually tried to do a test because I've never used YouTube Studio's creator tools to be able to edit videos. So I went to a video where I used the DSA FAL, the SA58. It's a 20-round mag firearm. And I went through and blurred every time I put the mag in because I wanted to test it because it wasn't a 30-round mag. but it was still something I could clearly find and do and test it out. I ended up having to do at least 15 blurs on the video. The problem is when I went to save it, the video wouldn't save those blurs. So, you know, being told from that I can go back and blur these out, and I'm not going to get in trouble as long as I blur them out from a YouTube higher up, I went to Twitter and asked YouTube, hey, it's not saving these blurs. I'm trying to conform with the rules that I was told. You know, why is this happening? And they said, hey, we'll look into it. You know what they did? They came back and said, yeah, your video violates our policies, and demonetized it. That's the help I got from YouTube for following their rules and doing exactly what I was told and finding a bug with their platform. I got demonetized. And funny thing is, that video didn't violate any of YouTube's new policies because it was a 20-round mag. Now, I didn't say in the video it was a 20-round mag because this is an older video, and honestly, this was never an issue, so I didn't need to say it was a 20-round magazine. But this comes into the next part that they talked about. They said context is key. If you're displaying an item that might be mistaken or, you know, definitely is not, but looks like it, when at magazines or things like that, you need to be explicitly identifying it in the caption or the video itself. This makes disputes after the fact much simpler and correct. So you have to say what it is in the video with context completely in there of what it is, because whoever's reviewing it, it's easier for them to be like, okay, that's what it is, and they're not looking at it and being like, okay, this is the video, you know, this is a 30-round mag because it looks like a 30-round mag, but it's actually a 20-round mag. And this kind of moseys on into the next point. They said manual reviews are performed by people all over the world 24 hours a day, including countries with no common access to or knowledge of firearms, which means that the person that could be looking at the video is from Japan, and they see you shooting a gun, and there's a box magazine hanging out of the bottom. They're going to think it's a 30-round magazine, a high-capacity magazine, and they're going to hit that video. So they don't know anything about firearms, but all they know is what they've learned on movies, TV, and news maybe, and they hit that video because that's what they think it is. So we have to be very clear in what we say and how we label these videos now. This is kind of a pain in the butt because if you've ever loaded a 30-round magazine in a video, you have to go through and blur every single one of those. Everybody who's done guns, you have to do that or you're going to get hit pretty dang hard. YouTube did say that they're not a content platform with ads. It's a global ad platform with content. American law is not what is being considered. YouTube is meeting the needs of global advertisers, which means even though it's legal with the United States, global advertisers don't give two craps about guns. They don't want guns, and that's what YouTube is doing. They are a global platform, and they're doing what global advertisers want. They don't want these guns. They don't like high-capacity magazines. They don't like automatic weapons, and that's what they're actually kind of pushing. On top of that, they did say automatic weapons will be met with an instant demonetization. You cannot shoot fully automatic weapons anymore on YouTube at all. It's something they don't want. If you can put that video up, but you ain't going to get any ad revenue on it. It's going to be instantly demonetized. Not struck, but demonetized. This is a big shift in YouTube's policy towards guns, and honestly, it's going to change the layout of YouTube and the GunTube in general. People are going to have to be taking more sponsorships because their machine gun videos aren't going to be doing anymore. There's going to be more editing. There's going to be more context to everything. Manual reviewers are going to get things wrong all the time, and we're going to constantly have to fight to get gun videos remonetized, and it'll be long after they got all the views, and it's not absolutely worth it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, why don't you move to this platform and this platform? I'm going to tell you this right now. I've been doing this full-time for 12 years. I've seen a lot of YouTube competitors come and go. Okay, not a single one of them has gotten even close to 2% of what the views YouTube gets daily in the world. If you can go ahead and move to another platform, but every single one of us, all these gun tubers, do it as a full-time job. Do you think you're going to be able to continue doing that as a full-time job if you just jump to another platform? Maybe if you have the support of your community through Patreons, donations, and things like that, but there's no ad revenue. There's no views on these other content platforms. You're not going to be able to continue doing that kind of stuff. You wouldn't imagine how much money and ammo it costs to do a full auto video. Like, You know, so ad revenue is absolutely important to content creators, and following and abiding by these rules is the only way that it's going to be able to continue the way it is, not jumping to another platform. Sorry, some of these other platforms are so dang tiny that they look like some weird app on your TV that you've never even heard of that makes some sort of shows. The biggest problem I see with this is the manual reviews. The manual reviewers are going to be the biggest issue with this, because you'll put it out 2 hours later, when the peak of the views are coming in, it's going to get demonetized or could be struck. Then you're having a fight back and forth, getting a manual reviewer who actually pays attention to what you're putting in the video context, and not just being like, oh, it's a scary black rifle, I'm so scared, this is bad, I don't want this. It just doesn't, I don't see it working out very well. After I got my first strike, I kind of backed off from the gun videos. One, they're very expensive to make. They don't make much money in ad revenue. I did a lot of them that were sponsored from certain gun companies, which definitely helped out quite a bit. And I see that being the future of gun videos. If somebody wants you to review their gun, well, unfortunately, it's not going to be a free thing anymore. They're going to have to pay for it to cover the costs of all the ad revenue loss and things like that. That's pretty much how gaming works, and a lot of other companies work. Gun community hasn't really been too big on that. With, hey, we'll give you this gun to review, and, you can send it back when we're done. Yeah, that's sure all fine and dandy, but yeah, now you're going to have to pay for it, because I'm taking a huge risk even showing this off on the platform. I'm not going to make any money on the platform on this now. So if you want this on the platform to reach all my people, you're going to have to pay money. It's probably one of the biggest things that's going to come from this. That, and having to fight all these manual reviewers to even survive getting striked. If you get 3 strikes, your channel's gone. Imagine if all of a sudden they went back and retroactively found 3 videos they didn't like and struck them all at the same time. Your channel's gone. Trying to fight that and get that back is near impossible at times. And even when it does come back, I've seen some channels that got reinstated from being absolutely deleted from YouTube that were so outside the algorithm, they never actually recovered, and people had to make brand new channels to fix it. So this is a really slippery slope. None of this that they said is covered in Facebook's policies at all. You can't look that up anywhere. This is literally from their mouth, and this is what they're looking for, but it's not in their policies written down anywhere. So that needs to change pretty quickly, because, if you're following the written rule, YouTube won't tell you what they hit you for either. You can ask them all day long, why was my video hit? What was it reviewed for? They're not going to tell you the problem with your video. They're just going to be like, it violates this policy, check the guidelines. That's all they're going to say. When the guidelines don't say any of this stuff, that becomes a big problem. But I want to know what you guys think about the new crackdown on firearms on YouTube. You think it's dumb? You think it's stupid? We all do. That's, what kind of ways around do you think we could use to get around this policy? All right, boys, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.